Here. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's always sunny on a Tuesday. When it's 95 degrees at 2 p.m., it's probably going to hit 100 again, man. We are literally in the dog days of summer. But, hey, what are you going to do? We just got to make the best of it. Last night was a really good night. I hope you guys were able to come out on the right side of money wherever you played. DraftKings, Fanduel, PrizePicks, Underdog, man. I crushed the props. Did great for DFS. Hoping to keep the momentum going into a Tuesday night where literally every team in the league plays. Two teams play twice. So feels like a Friday, right? Feels like a Friday night coors slate where the whole league's in play here. But it's actually just Tuesday night coors slate. So we're going to peruse through the games here. We're going to keep updating the rundfs.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. We're going to hopefully come away with a tight player pool here and make some money tonight. Shout out to you guys watching live on YouTube. If you stumble in late, all I ask you hit that thumbs up for some free content, and we will go through game by game here. We'll talk things from just a general game theory strategy standpoint for DFS, and then the games that are the most interesting, we'll take a peek over at the PrizePicks boards, the underdog boards, and if there's enough interest. Yesterday we did a in-stream kind of underdog game. I completely fumbled the bag on that because I didn't know what I was doing. Today I have a little better idea. So if you guys want to run that back, we all kind of understand the scoring a little bit different now. We can play that as well. I'd be game to do that again if you guys were interested. Of course, if you're not on Underdog and you use this link in chat, they will double your first deposit up to $100. So you can kind of free roll your first, not free roll, but we'll say you'll double your first deposit and be able to stretch it out a little bit longer, a little bit stronger. And yeah, so let's bust open the slate, man. Shout out to Wes. Shout out to Jay Smooth, Skimmer in the chat. Before we jump into the slate, I do want to check out the weather. So I'm going to go check out Mr. Kevin Ross weather report. I'll put a link to that in chat as well. Should probably bookmark that. And it looks like all systems go. Also, let's open up a Delish Strawberry Kiss. Oh yeah, that's what you want. Looks like everything's good to go. No rain here, and that's huge for a 15 gamer, right? A bunch of hotness. So let's ride. Game number one. Busting open the rundfs.com MLB VIP spreadsheet. We got the Braves. We got the Nats. Braves with a 5.7 implied run total. The Nats 3.6. So I don't for sure know who we got pitching for the Nats here. I see Jackson Titrolt, but I don't see him in a player pool. So let's do some research. Jackson Titrolt. National Day Martinez, blah blah blah. National position is more complicated. In chat, if anybody, here we go. Except for a day. Okay, I guess it will be. Chitrell called up from AAA Rochester, start Tuesday's game against Atlanta, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. So now we have that. We can go look at his minor league numbers. But I don't think he's playable. Maybe. Let's see. Remove non-probables. Chitrell. No. So the kid's not playable. We just need to figure out if he's a complete and utter gas can to pick on him, right? 4.19 ERA so far, 59 innings pitched, 52 strikeouts. So less than a strikeout per inning, $1.25 plus WHIP. And what are the power numbers looking like this season? He has allowed 10 homers in 58 innings. Yeah, not what you want. So yeah, we right off the gate, we got to jump into the mix here with some Brave stacks. Let's put Braves in the stack list here, and then Max Fried on the bump for the Braves here. We know he's pretty decent. At the baseball, a 12.5% swinging strike rate. Couple that with nearly a 50% ground ball rate to righties and a 64% ground ball rate to lefties. He's not somebody you want to target, But is he somebody we want to play today at 10.1? The Nationals have been a really tough team to go after if you are strikeout hunting. This lineup itself, it just has a 17% K rate to lefties. I have to assume that's the best in the majors, but if it's not, that's a crazy low strikeout rate. Let me go check that. That has to be the best. So if you want to play Max Fried here, I think the lean that we would want for him is him to eat innings. Maybe falls into a strikeout per inning, but that probably is like a little bit on the run great side. And then maybe that makes him more of a Fanduel play where we just kind of expect him to get through the game here, pick up 6-7 innings, quality start, maybe 4 or 5 Ks. And then with that same thought process, if I wanted to target Max Fried in player props, I'd probably stay away from the strikeout board. But let me see what they have Fried at. Max Fried is at 5K. So that's right there knocking on the door, but this is a really tough matchup. So let's go team stats here. And versus lefties. And let's go advanced. Sorted by greatest to least. And yeah, Washington is the lowest K rate team against lefties. So a really tough spot to project for big Ks here. But with that said, that big ground ball rate is a really good sign for Fried to get through the game here, 6-7 innings strong, and then scoop up a win here. So I do have interest in Fried. I will get to him on DraftKings, but I do think he's going to profile for me as a better Fanduel play, and then perhaps a better PrizePicks play if you get onto that fantasy points, right? We're kind of implying him for the quality start, the win, and then enough outs and enough strikeouts to kind of get you where you need to go. So we'll see what that confirmed lineup comes out as for the Nats, but yeah, not a whole lot of high expectations here. But we are definitely stacking the Braves here. We don't need to do too much deep analysis. They've been really, really good. Ozuna got into one last night. Ozzy Albies did fracture his foot, right? That's a step backwards. That is unfortunate. You hate to see that. Last year Acuna gets injured and they go on to win the World Series, and then now while this team's getting right, Albies breaking his foot. That's unfortunate, but there's still a really, really talented team here. So we're going to be on them here for sure. And then when it comes to the Nats, there's really no redeeming qualities in Max Fried to want to pick on. If you want to take some shots of Soto, Cruz, Bell, any slate, especially a guy like Cruz against lefties, go for it. But I think on a 15-game slate, I'm going to try to keep it as tight as possible. So there's likely no onslaught Nat stacks for me. So give me a little bit of Fried and a little bit of Braves bats. And that's all I got to say about that. What up, Eversons? My shirt was thirsty. Rays at the Yankees. Yankees lineup just dropped, so we'll get that punched in. DJ LeMahieu batting leadoff. Judge, he's in the 2 spot. I just typed Anthony Judge. Yeah, this bang needs to kick in a little bit more. Anthony Rizzo, there we go. Giancarlo. Yankees coming off a day off, and they didn't have to travel, so a day off in their own beds is a good little recharge there. But they are about to embark on a really tough stretch of games here. I think this month is going to be, or the next, 3-4 series is going to be probably the most important, but it's going to be a season-making or breaking couple weeks. They get the Rays. I think the Astros are coming up, and I think the Blue Jays are in the mix somewhere. And those are all like heavy hitter teams here. So Rays are throwing Corey Kluber. Garrett Cole's on the bump for the Yankees. Garrett Cole's 10.5K. Coming off a really rough start against the Minnesota Twins, allowed 3 homers in a row to start the game. Offense was able to pick them up. I think it's fair to look past that. I was on record to say those Minnesota games, they tend to get freaky. And he is going to be tasked with this Rays offense that is really hit and miss when it comes to strikeouts. G-Man Choi, Randy Arozarena, Kevin Kiermaier, and Taylor Walls all have an aggregate strikeout rate of like 28% combined. And then there's 4 guys in this lineup with a sub 20% K rate. So you can see the strikeouts, you can see the pesky hitters. Historically, G-Man Choi has been a tough out for Garrett Cole. I'm not into BVP like that, but G-Man Choi definitely is one that you don't forget. With that said, earlier this season, Garrett Cole was able to overcome that, and I believe he struck out G-Man Choi a couple times and got him out every time. So maybe he's finally overcome that hurdle. ISO-wise, G-Man Choi and Isaac Paredes are the 2 guys with a 200-plus ISO against righties since the beginning of last year. And then overall, not really getting a bunch of power ratings here against Garrett Cole, which is pretty interesting because with Garrett Cole's great numbers, usually you can find a couple guys that project decently well for power because he has had like an 8-9% barrel rate the last couple years, and then has a 1.5 home run per night to lefties and righties essentially. So that's a good sign for us that want to play Garrett Cole. At 10.5K, I definitely think when you put all the pitchers on the slate together, there's a couple guys that can give you 30 today. I think Garrett Cole's definitely one of them. I'm not going to tier 1 him, but I do expect him to come in with some pretty decent ownership, and he's a pretty strong favorite, and he's going to project pretty well. The Rays have a 3.1 implied run total. So I like the rested bullpen here for the Yankees. I like Garrett Cole to bounce back, right? A guy like Garrett Cole's going to wear that last loss pretty well. And then Jose Trevino is behind the dish for him here too, and he's another guy that takes it really serious. So I expect him to come out with a strong game plan. And then if you like that as well, Garrett Cole was actually the taco, one of the tacos voted over on PrizePicks. I'll post a link to that in the chat below. If you haven't dipped your feet into prop betting, you should maybe walk in slowly. But Garrett Cole's strikeout prop is down to 5.5, and I would imagine without the discount, it would probably be sitting at 7.5. So you do get a little bit of reprieve there. And I want to start a little list here to keep us going. So first of all, let's do PrizePicks. Let's do Garrett Cole taco, and then I wouldn't want to bet the 7.5, but I'll take the 5.5. It's 31% off the regular projection. So give me some of that, and then obviously Yankees stack is always going to be in play. Corey Kluber on the bump here. He has a 4.3 expected ERA and a 1.76 home run per night to righties. And I think we can kind of believe into this because last year he had a 1.5 home run per night to righties. So I think he throws that slider curve Kluber ball. Sometimes that can hang. And if you're going to bleed a little bit more to righties than lefties, well, there's plenty of righties in this Yankees lineup. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, 2 guys that can send a baseball over the wall in any park, but especially here. So I think we're going to get behind Yankee stacks. If they get too owned, I'd walk away. But I will say I'm not expecting maybe coors, but I'm not expecting like one team to get an egregious amount of ownership just because every team's on the slate. But Yankees have a modest enough team total that I could see people staying away, and I could also see this price being kind of hard to gravitate towards, right? We got 1 through 4 of this Yankees lineup is 5 to 6K, so it's going to be a hard stack to accomplish. Another guy in this lineup is Matt Carpenter. I believe he has 6 homers in the first 10 games. That's a record for all-time Yankee players. He makes contact and it goes far. He is he's a little bit more expensive now than he was on that any other slate, but he's still very much viable in the middle of this lineup. And then who does this mean? This means Aaron Hicks has the day off. Maybe you see Hicks pinch it for Trevino late in the game if they need to, but for the most part, I don't expect that. And then I don't think we worry too much about Carpenter getting subbed out. I believe this is the game that Josh Donaldson's going to serve a suspension, so they don't have an extra infielder roaming to switch something up here. So you might see Carpenter stay in late in the game, even if a lefty comes in or something. Cool. All right, so give me some Yankee stacks. I'm not really that there on the Rays, but if you wanted to, cherry pick a couple of these big swingers, maybe a G-Man Choi or Randy Rosarina, those two seem to be historical Yankee killers. I'm fine with that. But yeah, Yankees are definitely nominated for an onslaught stack. What up, Team Underground? What up, Sean? What up, Jason? Hope you guys are doing all right today. Is that a bang? That is a bang. My fridge is loaded, bro. Since last Friday, I've had maybe, I went 4 days with just water, right? A subconscious water fast, and then this week I started adding whatchamacallit, trail mix, trail mix into the bunch, and then I think I had one Subway sandwich the other day. We are coasting, right? And then the one devil's pinch of badness in my diet right now is probably these bangs, but it is more so just because it has an insane amount of caffeine. It's not really packed with there's no sugar, nothing like that. So that's my thing here. So you guys see me divulging in bangs on stream, I promise you that's the only time. The rest of the day I'm drinking water. All right, next game on the docket, Phillies hosting the Marlins. Trevor Rogers taking on Zach Eflin. By the way, I'm not gonna go between the boards every game, but since I do, so I don't think I want to. I don't know. Maybe I'll grab action on Judgy, but I do want to say if I was looking at the Braves game here, Detroit has a big home run problem. 10 homers in 58 innings. Remember, you want to see about 1 homer per 10 to be a little bit above normal, maybe 1 per 9. So this guy has almost like 1 point. I don't know what the math is, but 10 homers in 58, that's way above average. So I would be interested in probably hawking a Braves hitter fantasy and maybe total home runs on PrizePicks, and they do give us Acuna, Duvall, and Wilson and William Contreras. I don't really like that trio. I would like to feel a little bit safer with the guys around Acuna. So I'm probably not going to bet the home run triangle for the Braves here. And then LeMahieu being in the Yankees triangle, I don't love that. But I do think like Judge and Rizzo will profile well. But I really like Acuna. So let's go look at hitter fantasy score. So with this type of total, I'll take Acuna anything. Usually 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. So we'll nominate Acuna 8.5. 8.5 fantasy. And then, yeah, we're going to keep it moving. Anyway, hopefully he's in the lineup. We're waiting on that lineup to be confirmed, but he should be. I can't imagine he wouldn't. Anyway, Marlins and Phillies, Zach Eflin up against Trevor Rogers. Rogers, 4.84 expected ERA on the season, a 1.54 whip, a 4.58 Sierra. It's all bad. He is not striking people out this season like he was last year. Last year, dang near 30% K rate. This year, sub 20%. So that has drastically fallen off. Let's see if we can figure out why that is. And then you've identified the problem. The next step is fixing it. Let's pull up his pitch for. Let's just see if he's like losing velo or anything like that. Here. What up, Gilbert? What up, Obi-Wan? Subway sounds good. Bro, you know what I got randomly? Was a Subway tuna fish sandwich. And, man, that sucker, I didn't know you could get, like, acid reflux from that crap, because I don't ever eat tuna or nothing. But that stuck with me all night, bro. So I don't know if I'll do that again. All right, he's got 10% swing and strike rate on the season. Let's go look at the pitch type. Fastball, slider, changeups. Fastball, changeup. So 94.7 miles an hour. Last couple games, he has touched 95 as the average exit velocity. Looking at last year, 94.6 slider, changeup. So I guess he's just getting different results here. And then the second way to double check on those numbers would be to pull up his baseball savant. We'll see if the spin rate's dipping or anything like that on these particular pitch types. Really, it's a non-factor because we could just go with what the stats are telling us, but my brain works in a weird way sometimes. I just have to understand why this is happening, you know? So this year fastball has a 43.9% hard hit rate. That's not egregiously higher than last year, but the K rate is down. The whiff rate is not that much lower, just the overall K rate is. So I wonder if it's a giant coincidence or not. The run value minus 15, and then movement. I'm not seeing enough movement out there. Fastball minus 2.3 inches, and last year's minus 1.6. And then horizontal movement 4.6 this year versus last year being 3.7. I don't know. It's just slightly worse. Anyway, we'll go with the trends here, and I don't really have that much interest in pitching against the Phillies anyway. But if you gave me a strong strikeout guy, I would kind of be interested at 6.3K on a big slate like this. But I think I'm gonna sit this one out and hope for the best. With that said, Trevor Rogers, in the midst of this regression for strikeouts, he's also realized almost triple his home run rate from last year, at 1.6 home run per nine so far this season, 0.5 last year. And this is Citizens Bank Park. This is one of the best ballparks on the slate for homers, and he's facing a pretty stacked Phillies team, and they have a couple of lefty killers that I love to pick on, like Rhys Hoskins, like Nick Castellanos, or love to target lefties with. So we did get a Phillies lineup confirmed. So with that said, Schwarber, Hoskins, Harper, Castellanos, Real Muto, Didi is in the 6th spot. Gregorius, Alec Bohm batting 7th, Yairo Munoz, and then Matt Verling. I think Verling was the winning run last night. Yairo Munoz. Did he used to play for the Cardinals, or am I just racist? I don't know. Let me see. Yairo Munoz. Let's look that up. And then also Munoz in Fangraphs, just because my brain feels like it recognizes that name. He did play for the Cardinals. Why do I know this? I have like the most unvaluable information in my head. So this year in the minors, batting .319, not bad. 800 OPS, 5 bombs, 163 at-bats, 5 stolen bases. All right, so maybe a little chip in the chair, bottom of the order, guys. 27 years old, 2,200 on DK. Might keep that in the back pocket. Phillies have a 4.8 implied run total. So between Rogers' woes here and getting righties out, yeah, we'll get to some Phillies here. With that said, he is still getting lefties out at a really great clip, a 31% K rate, but he's earning no strikeouts. He's fighting for them because he has a 12% walk rate to lefties, and we know Bryce Harper will be really patient at the plate and make him work for it. And I do think 1 through 5 is going to be the bulk of my interest here, but we're not going to leave at the bottom of the stack. But that walk rate makes me wonder, what can we get Trevor Rogers 1.5 walks or nah? No, we cannot. All right, cool. Just wanted to check. All right, let's pull up the player pool sheet here. Let's add Phillies to the stack list. I'm not playing Trevor Rogers. Zach Eflin on the bump for the Phillies here. 2.76 expected ERA is his best underlying metric. Everything else is not on his side. The whip isn't that bad. 20% K rate. You like to see that a little bit better. I think we've been saying for the last week or so, this Marlins team is a lot better against righties than the world gives him credit. 113 WRC plus. Jazz Chisholm's a monster here, so I'm not that enthralled with Zach Eflin. I will say, if this lineup came out as projected, where there's only 2 lefties, you got to get around Jazz Chisholm. Maybe we could tap into the 50% ground ball rate and the 23% K rate to righties a little bit, and take some risk at 7,700, looking for 15 fantasy points. I don't think that's a crazy approach here, but it's definitely not, something I'm looking for a ton of upside with. He has, to his credit, been really efficient in Citizens Bank Park so far. 1-4 K rate, keeping a ball on the ground 43% of the time, and a sub .9 home run per nine. But yeah, I think the Marlins are a little bit more pesky than the field usually gives him credit for. So we'll see what Eflin's ownership comes in at. If he comes in low enough, like sub 10%, I'll get there. But if he starts, you know, a 30% SP2 or something like that, I don't really need to get there. But for the sake of creating a player pool, we'll put him at the bottom of a tier 3 for now, and we'll see if we come back for him. But no Trevor Rogers for me. And then, do I want to pick on Rogers specifically with somebody for a PrizePicks play? If I did, it would be Hoskins and Castellanos. Is there any way we can get those two in a home run triangle over on PrizePicks? Home runs. There we go. Phillies, Hoskins and Schwarber. No, they gave us the two lefties. I would have doubled down on like Hoskins and Casty. But since that lineup is confirmed and we do have Hoskins batting second, man, Hoskins 300 ISO against lefties since the beginning of last year. He has a 409 bomb rating here, and that's, you know, 4 is the magic number. So anything above 4 in a pretty positive spot. I think we could probably nominate Hoskins for fantasy points if it's like 7.5, 8.5 is fine too. I don't really sweat it, but Hoskins is at 1.5 total bases. I could ride with that. So we'll nominate that to the list. And guys, don't bet every one of these right now. I'm just adding stuff that I don't mind. And then yeah, I don't really want to get into anything on Rogers. I don't think so. Cheapies bots. Yeah, I don't know what's up with these bots on YouTube lately. Blue Jays hosting the Orioles. Jordan Lyles taking on Yusei Kikuchi. We do have an Orioles lineup. Cedric Mullins. I hate Austin. Austin Hayes batting second. Ryan Mountcastle batting third. Adley Rutschman batting cleanup. Tyler Nevin, son of Angels manager Phil Nevin, former Yankee third base coach. Ryan McKenna, Jorge Mateo, Rob Chirinos in the 8th spot. Cool. Blue Jays lineup was not confirmed last night. They just went ballistic. Almost was a sweat because we were all over that home run triangle, and they had like 10 runs without a homer for a minute. And I was like, what? Huh? How's that possible? And then George Springer got subbed out. I was like, good God, don't do this to me. I even like made a funny tweet to them, but I ended up getting there. So last night, this is what we ran. I posted 6 plays, and this is like 5 of them. I had the Vladdy, Springer, and Hernandez. Those were 3 of the top bomb rating guys in the spreadsheet yesterday against Bradish, and they were all doing fine, but none of them homered. And I comboed that with Springer's fantasy. So I got Springer's fantasy, and then I got like a random 7th, 8th inning homer from Vladdy to hit that over, and then of course everything else hit. And Jesse Winkers was a sweat too. So I'll go back to the well here. But I do understand it, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Yesterday, it was good to be lucky. We got Jordan Lyles on the bump here for the Orioles so far, and with any pitcher against the Blue Jays, we can really isolate that pitcher splits against righties. A 300 average allowed so far to righties with a 0.71 home run per 9. Last year, that home run per 9 was 2. I wonder if that's a direct product of the left field wall, right? Those righty pull hitters in Camden. I would imagine so, because on the road he has a 2.2 home run per 9. Sometimes I think there's a feature on Baseball Savant where you can see how many homers a pitcher or a hitter would have in a different park. So let me go look at that, because I am curious to see those numbers. This really is wasting time, but you know me. All right, so expected home runs by park in the year 2022. Love this feature. You can see it from baseball players too. So like when people hate on Aaron Judge, and it's like, well, he would have more homers in your park, so shut up. So in Camden, Baltimore, right here, he has 8 homers allowed in 2022. If you were to pitch all the games, let's say here in Rogers Center, Do they have Roger Center, or did last year kind of mess it up? Blue Jays. He would have 11, so it would go up a little bit. But yeah, we can lean on that road home run per night too at 2.23. So a little fun fact about that wall. So we can pick on them, and then same suspects as yesterday. Go look at that bomb detector right there at the top. Sort of from greatest to least. Toronto has Springer at a 4.13, Vladdy at a 4.11, and Teoscar. Is Teoscar up here? Let's see. Teoscar has a 3.95. So it'd be Vladdy and Springer at the top here. And Springer's just really, really filling it here. So this 300 average allowed with that home run boost with such a low strikeout rate and such a he's bad, a high barrel rate. I'd be willing to go back to the well of some George Springer. Springer's on the board with 8 fantasy points or 1.5 total bases. I'd be fine with both of those, so I'm going to nominate George Springer, 8 FPS, 1.5 TB. And then they have the same home run triangle as yesterday. I think that would be fine as well, especially if you like Springer for a dinger. We'll type up Blue Jays home run triangle. But bear in mind that that Blue Jays lineup is, from on my screen, is not confirmed yet. So we do want to make sure that everyone's there. I have no interest in Jordan Lyles. Yusei Kikuchi. 31% K rate at the house this season, 25% overall K rate. All the other metrics make you sweat. 1.5 whip, 5.51 expected ERA, and a 13.5% barrel rate. Man, I just don't feel like I'm going to be that enthralled to have to sweat those type of numbers. But with that said, this confirmed Orioles lineup, on the season first, they have a 26% K rate, which is one of the worst in baseball with an 89 WRC plus. Remember, Anthony Santander inactive for this trip. This lane right here, 3 through 8, essentially, an aggregate of dang near 30% K rate. We'll give it 29%. So if he can get through Hayes and Mullins, there is definitely some strikeout upside to be had here. So I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. I just hate how inefficient he is. His 15.7% walk rate. This is a really tough sweat here. So maybe in big field, 150 lineup, something like that, we get Kikuchi in the back end. But I wouldn't want to sweat that in like single entry or 20 or less, maybe even 50 or less. Just a really hard pitcher to sweat. But definitely the upside's there. So we'll put Kikuchi in the back end of tier 3 for Mass Entry tournament. But understand this is going to be like single digit percentage, just kind of picking on the matchup. And then obviously we got to add the Blue Jays Blue Jays stack as one of the stacks that we want to target. Blue Jays at 5.5 implied run total, man. That's going to be up there with a lot of other teams. And so far what I'm noticing is that the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Braves, right? All these guys with 5+ run totals, or these teams, excuse me, is interesting because Coors Field is on the slate and Coors is cheaper. So I wonder if these teams will steal some of that shine from Coors, and where Coors really just ends up when it's all said and done. So I would imagine Coors rules all and Senzatella is enough to want to go pick on, but we definitely have some pivots. No matter what, there's going to be pivots to play, and I don't know that we're going to get coagulated ownership anyway because of how big the slate is. My goodness, we're getting destroyed by bots right now. Lyle's definitely been worse results on the road for sure. That home run rate definitely goes up. So give me Springer fantasy points on PrizePicks. And then, hey guys, remember Underdog has prop betting as well. And they actually have a way to where it's PrizePicks you can 10x. Underdog will actually allow you to 20x a card here. So a lot of linear props, but then some props that are a little bit different. So if you didn't know that and you want to expand on your current play, go check out Underdog. I play on both. Yesterday I ran cards on both Underdog and PrizePicks, and I did good on both sites. And then if enough of you guys are on Underdog, you want to play along, we'll do an Underdog draft for tonight's slate towards the end of the stream, but only if you want to. And let's say we had Acuna fantasy. They don't have as many fantasy points offered on this site, but we could take like total basis. Like Acuna's at 1.5 total basis. We were on that. And then what is Springer at? And while I say Springer's at 1.5 total basis, I do that. So That's how I play underdogs. I would go after those. Blue Jays lineup did just come out. Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Teoscar's batting cleanup. Lourdes Gurriel batting fifth. Raimel Tapia, Matt Chapman. He's got a fast car. All right, boom. Confirmed Blue Jays lineup. Let's ride. Next game. Tigers. Go Tigers. Drew Hutchison. What? Up against the White Sox. Dylan, cease and desist. We do have a confirmed Tigers lineup. We got Victor Reyes, Harold Castro, Willie Castro, Austin Meadows. I hate Austin. Javi Baez batting fifth. Robbie Grossman in the sixth hole. Jonathan Scope. Cody Clemens got his first knock yesterday. Congrats to him. And that is confirmed. We don't have a White Sox lineup just yet. Look at the 80 WRC plus against righties. Can you believe the White Sox are this bad? My goodness. But are they Drew Hutchison bad? Because that's pretty bad. 15 innings of Drew Hutchison in the year 2022. 5.41 expected ERA, 20% K rate, 11% barrel rate. All of that is hashtag not what you want. I don't think I can justify it even at 4K. I just don't know how optimal that is. 100 out of 100 times, you know what I mean? Even I don't even know if it's like 1 out of 100. So I probably don't tempt fate here with Drew Hutchison. Is there anything I need to know about Drew Hutchison that I don't already know? Drew Hutchison, he's just an opener anyway. Yeah, 1 inning, 2 innings. So this looks like a bullpen game for the Tigers. Behind, let's see, behind Hutchison is gonna be Tyler Alexander. So a lefty, so you get to switch it up. So I tell you what, that definitely might flip things up. Because watch this, White Sox 80 WRC plus against righties, against lefties 140. You talk about opposite ends of the spectrum here. So if you can get through that 1 inning of a below average righty and then you flip things over into a lefty, the stack definitely has a lot more value. And if we put Tyler Alexander here in the spreadsheet and just kind of see what the bomb ratings would be. AJ Pollock, Andrew Vaughn, Luis Robert, Jose Abreu hit two bombs yesterday. They all look a whole lot better, and Alexander has almost a 3 home run per 9 so far this season against righties. So, yeah, maybe I think because of that we're gonna have to get to some White Sox. We're just gonna have to do it. We're gonna space it down a little bit. We'll probably get sub 10%, but that game might open up for them in the second inning and things change. We'll see what that. We'll see what La Russa spits out as a lineup here. I don't know. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't want to front load it with some of these guys, but what do I know? Anyway, I'll tell you what. Let's just leave Alexander in the spreadsheet for now. So if you're a RunDFS.com VIP member, just know that Alexander's a long reliever. Drew Hutchison probably gives you one inning and an out or something like that if he's going well. No White Sox lineup. Dylan Cease on the bump here for the White Sox. So this is probably going to be one of the guys to go after. The Tigers were top 5 in strikeout rates to righties when we looked yesterday. This confirmed lineup a little bit scrappier. Harold Castro, Austin Meadows, Jonathan Scope, Cody Clemens all have a 20% or less K rate. Now Clemens might be a little bit flimsy, that number is. So I guess we could go look at his minor league stuff. Kind of see what the K rate is. I just think it's a low sample size keeping his K rate down. So let's see, it's 2022 MLB. It doesn't show strikeouts there. 2022, he's got 52 strikeouts in 184 at bats. So, okay, maybe it wasn't. It's still fine. So I do want to target the Tigers with a pitcher, especially a sub 9K pitcher with a 33% K rate. That feels a whole lot bit broken, if you ask me. So Dylan Cease definitely profiles as somebody I definitely want to target. Went to 110 pitches in his last outing. Dodgers a much stronger matchup than this one. So the fact that he might have the highest pitch count on the slate at sub 9K against a beatable Tigers team, yeah, we're playing some Dylan Cease here. He's borderline a tier 1 at this price, right? Like you assume a little bit of a I would say lower risk, high reward with a guy like Cease. And if we had to knock Dylan Cease, it would be his propensity to lose the strike zone, a 12.7% walk rate to lefties, 11.7% walk rate to righties. That's not what you want. But the K rate is so gosh dang good, and he might be able to overcome a couple walks with that pitch count just based on this team. So there's a good chance we get to Cease at maybe like tier 1 exposures, but for now we'll put him as a tier 2. And we'll shuffle it later. He's at a 7.5 K prop, 100.5 pitch prop, and 38.5 fantasy score. Yeah, all that is really doggone good. Man, I'm thinking Dylan Cease tier 1. At that price, we just got to. It just means I'll have like a lot of that. And then if you want to pick on Cease, $1.25 on the home run per 9 against righties. But man, there is virtually no power in this lineup. Austin Meadows, Javi Baez, the two main guys, and Austin Meadows is really the main suspect that I would look at to have a competitive at bat here. Javi Baez is he's just a strikeout essentially right now. So give me Cease, give me the White Sox stack, projecting that lefty to come in, and then I have really no interest in the Tigers pitcher. Yeah, I don't. How did you do on the underdog? Shut up. No. Yeah, Obi, I completely whiffed that draft yesterday. I didn't know what I was doing today. Today I know. Okay. So you guys want to throw hands? Come on, get you some. What up, Paul? You doing all right? What up, Cowboys? Here. Got the G's going hard in chat. I love it, man. I love it. I really do appreciate that. You guys, during basketball, we get crazy numbers and the ad revenue is so good, blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes for baseball, the priority goes a little bit lower, but you guys are able to offset the ad revenue with like those memberships, and then we try to give back in the free Discord. So it's definitely appreciated. You guys going above and beyond to support the channel, and I've been trying to add to it. Athletics and the Red Sox next game on the slate. Both lineups are confirmed, so let's get these punched in. Tony Kemp, Ramon Laureano, Christian Bethancourt, Seth Brown, Shaddy Pendergrass batting 5th. Elvis Andrus, Stephen Vogt, Sean Murphy, Jonah Bride. That is our Athletics lineup. Yep, those are names. And on the Red Sox side, we got former Yankee great Rob Refsnyder in the leadoff spot. Rafi Devers, JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Trevor Story, Alex Verdugo, Christian Vasquez is batting 7th in the 8th spot. Bobby. Oh. Batting 8th, and then Christian Arroyo batting 9th. So, not your A+ lineup, but you do get Rafi, JD, Xander, Story, and even Verdugo. Nice little 2 through 6 I can get behind. And then on the bump here for the A's is Mr. Koenig. We got 4 innings in the big leagues here, so let's go pull up his minor league stuff here, refresh our memory. Hiccup. See what we're working with. And also, how many pitches did he go last outing? Fenway, of course, going to be one of the more offensive friendly parks on the slate. 76 pitches against the Braves. Braves. 2 walks, more ground balls to fly balls. We go look at his minor league numbers. He's got 53 innings, 61 K, so he's a strikeout guy by trade, and a 102 whip. Really solid. I think I remember talking about him now. So this is one of those guys that projects well in the minors. Did he skip? Is he the guy, or is he one of the guys that skipped AAA altogether? I don't catch me lying here. No, he was in AAA. No, yeah, he was in AAA. But some of these high-end prospect pitchers in the minors, it take a while to realize their talent in the majors, right? It's one of the biggest gaps in all of professional sports is the gap between the minors and Major League Baseball. And yeah, he ran right into a Braves team that was able to humble him pretty quickly. But as he starts to develop as a pitcher, he has a lot of upside in these numbers. You're looking at this. What am I looking at? All right. Last couple games in the minors. Look at the month of May. 26.2 innings pitched, 34 Ks with a almost 1-to-1 ground out to air out ratio, a sub .9 whip, and he gave up 1 homer in those 26.2 innings. So all that type of stuff, really, really good. With that said, you can kind of bank on him having some growing pains as he develops in the majors, especially as you go against, these professional hitters in really, really tough parks. So with that said, the Red Sox are pushing 6 runs as their team total right now. So you just kind of have to trust that Vegas is a little bit better at spotting this type of stuff than we are. And with that said, yeah, we got to stack some Red Sox for sure. And then going against a lefty, we'll sign up for JD Martinez and Trevor Story any day. And Rafi Devers also has a pretty high bomb rating. So all the Red Sox are represented pretty well in the bomb detector today. So we're going to get there. But there'll probably be a slate sooner or later where I try to tap into Koenig's unrealized potential. Maybe I'll try to take advantage of like a low strikeout prop. Like he's at 3 strikeouts, right? So for him to be such a big strikeout like that, I might even take that while still stacking the Red Sox here, because he's a strikeout guy in the minors, right? Like 53 innings, 61 Ks, and the Red Sox that's a maybe. I wouldn't talk anyone off of that. Like I've been going after Kyle Bradish strikeout rates because they haven't really adjusted for what he might be. So maybe 3 Ks is a little too low for Koenig. If you guys want to get a little funky with it, I don't think I need to do it though. But I don't hate that idea. Maybe going forward into another team or a worse team, we'll take some shares of that. But give me the Red Sox here, and then Nick Pivetta on the bump for the Red Sox. Athletics. Not good. A 24.2% overall K rate on the season against righties. 75 WRC plus. Laureano, Seth Brown, Chatty Pendergrass, Sean Murphy all have an aggregate of like 28, 29% K rate since the beginning of last year against righties. Nick Pivetta, 25% overall K rate. Expected ERA, not what you want, 4.27. But we have been playing some below average pitchers against this lineup just because of how poor this lineup projects. So I don't mind adding Pivetta into the mix. It's not a high level of confidence, but definitely a range of outcomes where Pivetta has a serviceable game on DraftKings, if nothing else. So we're going to put Pivetta in the tier 3 pool of pitchers for me. And then if I wanted to pick on Pivetta, I'm not getting any big power numbers here from the Athletics, or almost never will. Bethancourt lately has been making a lot more barrels. I don't know if I believe in that, but it's happening. And then Seth Brown is the highest ISO guy on the team since the beginning of last year to righty. So those guys, but I don't need to do it. Red Sox stacks, yes. And that's it, right? What's Pavetta's K prop? Pivetta. 6. 36 fantasy points, 4.5 hits allowed, blah, blah, blah. 1.5 walks. Nah, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't got to do it. I don't need it. Come get some of that gun smoke. Let me find out. What up, Eric? Had the right pitchers but wrong bats yesterday. Don't you hate that? Bats are a little harder to get right than pitchers, in my opinion. Brewers taking on the Mets. Brewers. Guys, watch out now. Brewers just picked up Chichi Gonzalez off waivers. I mean, that's an impact play right there. Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Eduardo Escobar, Luis Guillorme. You're Jeff McNeely. Nick Plummer, Tomas Nido. This is your confirmed Mets lineup. Why do I always forget the N? Here we go. No confirmed Brewers lineup yet, but we got Adrian Hauser on the bump. 18% K rate, 1.4 whip, 4.57 expected ERA. None of that I want to play, so you did your thing, dog. But that's going to be a no for me. What I will say is just because I don't want to play the pitcher doesn't mean I necessarily want to go a full stack against him. Hauser just has a stupid ability to keep the ball in the park. His ground ball rate has regressed to 45 and 47%. From last year's 51 and 65%, but he's still a ground ball guy. If we wanted to get to some Mets here, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, these are guys I can get behind. Starling Marte, I think since the beginning of last year, was one of the league leaders in infield hits. So a contact guy like Hauser, there's definitely a good chance Marte can run one out, and then he's a stolen base threat. Batting .316 against righties since the beginning of last year. So if you're trying to nickel and dime, manufacture some runs in a lineup, maybe a single entry or a cash game or something like that, I don't mind that. As far as projecting for power here, it's kind of hard to look at Hauser and target homers, and on the 15-game slate, right, that's what we got to do, is we need that lineup that hits 5 bombs or drops 15, 20 on a big slate like this. So I'll probably just cherry pick some Mets here. I don't know that I get to an onslaught, right? Hauser 11+% walk rate to lefties in the last 3 years. Does PrizePicks give us a Hauser walk prop at 1.5? No, they do not. They do give us 23.5 fantasy points, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Bassett on the bump for the Mets here against the Brewers. Bassett 3.53 expected ERA, 25% K rate. So his underlying metrics say he should be doing better than his ERA, but he still has $1.25 on the whip. Andrew, man, I appreciate that sub. I don't know why that bear just scared me, bro. He went growling in my ear. So yeah, I don't mind getting to a little Bassett at 8,200. I think that's not a bad price point for his skill level. And like I said, I think his results have been pretty unlucky. What up, EB? Just been doing research, man. That's what's up. We all out here vibing. Hopefully, is the music good? Like, is it the right level for you? It's not too loud, not too low. Hopefully. 3.1 innings for Bassett in that last outing. What happened? Bassett. Let's go look at some individual games here. They after your money. So this one says naked sex dates ! F overpriced Tinder. Guys, I'm not on Tinder, but I always assumed Tinder was free. Is it not? I don't really care. So 3.52 xFIP in that game against San Diego, 3.42 Sierra. So those aren't bad. So for him to get beat up like that, something bad probably happened, like a bad defensive play. What was the BABIP in that game? BABIP was 583. Not what you want. 22% left on base. That's not what you want. A 2.7 whip. Yeah, 389. All right. So he just got really, really lucky, or unlucky rather, against San Diego. So I'm willing to forgive that at 8,200, and then go after a Brewers lineup that gives you a decent strikeout opportunity, 23%. Do worry about his numbers against lefties, a 4.62 xFIP to lefties, Rowdy Tellez, Christian Yelich, Omar Narvaez in the projected lineup. He has definitely served up some homers to lefties. So, yeah, it's not going to be a core play or anything like that, but 8,200, I think there's a good range of outcomes that we're going to get 2x that price point enough on DK with a shot at 20 plus. Paul and Boats, like Paul and Oates, but Paul, I love that. Appreciate the sub. I think we'll put Bassett as a high tier 3 for now. He might get promoted, but we'll put him as a high tier 3 for now. Cheaper than free. They literally pay. Good God, bro, these bots though. I'll have the 5-piece Tinder box. I don't know how to pronounce. Dang it, Dameron. Yo, we had 90 plus people since when? Yo, shout out to you guys. Hit that thumbs up, man. It increases your luck. It's been scientifically proven. Pirates and the Cards. So this is the two teams that are playing a doubleheader today. Earlier today, I saw Goldie homered. So it looks like this game's going to be on DraftKings, not on Fanduel. So Fanduel users, earmuffs. Bryce Wilson, not good. 6+ expected ERA. Cardinals, I like them. Shocker, Goldie's been on fire. Yeah, we're playing Goldie. And Miles Michaelis, I can do without. 20% K rate. He might pick up some extra strikeouts just because it's the Pirates and they strike out 1 and 4 84 WRC plus, 8400. Like, I don't think you're crazy to take a couple stabs here, but I just generally don't go after low K guys or low swing and strike guys on a big slate, because I just, feel like strikeout's going to be king at the end of the day. Michaelis is one of those archetype pitchers with his best games likely being eating innings with less than a K per inning, scoop a win. So this would be more of like a PrizePicks fantasy point or Fanduel play for me. But 8,400, if you thought he survived and got you a shot at 16 and 20, I'm not going to talk you off that ledge, but I'd rather just get invested in the bats here. And the bond detector loves Nolan Gorman. And then, like I said, Goldie's on fire right now. And then if the lineup gives you a lane of Arenado, Tyler O'Neill, it all makes a lot of sense. And what we saw yesterday in St. Louis, we're seeing a little bit more today. It got up to 100 degrees yesterday. Right now I'm looking at 96 degrees, so it's pretty doggone hot. And that might be able to overcome Busch Stadium's pitcher friendliness a little bit to make it a little bit more friendly for hitters here. So give me some Cardinals bats. Not really that enthralled with the Pirates here, but against Michaelis, if you wanted to pick on him with a couple lefties, he has a 27% line drive rate with a 260 average allowed and a 4+ xFIP. So Brian Reynolds is probably going to be somebody I'd look at, maybe Daniel Vogelback and Jack Sawinski from Sawinski's Auto Parts. So those three would be the three I keep an eye on based on what that projected, or based on that confirmed lineup, Bing bong. Bing bong.
Cameron super chatted $1.99. Last night FD Optimal had a big penis.
Appreciate that. Now we got a largest D or biggest D, but now the font's too big. Appreciate that too, Damron. Yeah, we went in last night. Last night was really good. It was really good. What is going on? Last tender I had was smoking hot, burnt my mouth up, then came out okay, buddy. Man, down here we have a place called Bush's Chicken, and they do a thing called Tender Tuesday, and it's like 20 tenders, some rolls, mashed potatoes, like $20. It's a pretty good deal. Sweet tea. If you ever come to the South and you want to taste Southern sweet tea, just find any chicken spot. It's the best, and I always get like a gallon of sweet tea from there. All right, some cards. Let's move on. Cubs hosting the Padres. Kyle Hendricks taking on Sean Manaea. Chupapi Manaea? No confirmed lineups for either team. Little gap here in price from Fanduel to DK. 10K on Fanduel for Manaea. 8,500 on DK. I like that counterpart there. Padres have an implied run total of, yikes, 5.7 runs. The Cubs 5. It looks like this is a Wrigley win game. We'll look back at Mr. Ross' weather report here and corroborate that. It says it's hot, humid, winds out to left center at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Great hitting weather in the most wind-sensitive park in baseball. So, rotogrinders.com/weather/MLB. All right, we got a win game. We got ourselves a win game, boys. Kyle Hendricks has allowed a 45.8% fly ball rate to lefties, a 5.45 xFIP, a 2.5 home run per 9, and he does not miss bats, a 15% K rate. Jake Cronenworth, how you doing? This looks like a homer spot for him. Yeah. What do we got on PrizePicks? Does PrizePicks adjust for this wind? Home runs. What do we got on Cubs and Padres? Machado, Cronenworth, Profar, come on. And then for the Cubs, we got. Do we got anything? We don't have a Cubs. We don't have any Cubs. Anyway, it looks like. It looks like Jake Cronenworth's gonna hit a homer here. That's what it looks like. So maybe Cronenworth has a better fantasy line. Cronenworth is at 6.5 fantasy points, 1.5 total bases. We'll add it to the list. Jake Cronenworth, 6.5 FPS, 1 TB. Cool. All right, so this is one of those games we don't really need to dive too much into the particulars. It's windy. We're stacking both teams. Bad things happen to good people. Sean Manaea is definitely more talented. He can get you some strikeouts, a 1 in 4 K rate. Maybe 8,500 in the win keeps people away from him. Or the win keeps people away from him. But 8,500, there's still a range of outcomes where you still got to hit the ball, right? And a 27% K rate to righties. This Cubs lineup will give you some strikeouts, especially the better bats to have, right? The Chris Morel, Wilson Contreras, Patrick Wisdom, Ian Happ, they all strike out. 25, 30+% aggregate against lefties, and at the bottom lineup as well, Jason Hayward, Jonathan VR. So I will get to some Manaea, but this is probably the first scumdacker spot on the slate so far where I'm going to play both sides of that. We'll get to some Cubs, but at that price point, I just can't not take a few shots of Sean Manaea. So we're going to put him in as a tier 3 option here, and then like I said, we're going to have Padres and Cubs. No Hendricks for me. And then Jake Cronenworth, if he's batting top 3 in that lineup, 6.5 fantasy points is really, really busted. And if I had to guess here, I don't think PrizePicks projections are modeled to account for the wind. So 6.5 is kind of free, I miss Bush's hands down the most from Texas. Them corn fritters were goat. Corn fritters. You talking about the corn? That it is pretty good. Okay, you guys, we're on a diet. Guys, chill. Oh, God. What up, RC? Wait till you see the weather edge for this game. It's busted, man. Whew. Profar has been raking, bro. Is he hitting homers like that, though? I'm willing to be wrong. I'll never forget playing the World Baseball Classic for DFS. Yeah, he's got 7 bombs. It's probably more than I would have guessed. I was playing the Baseball Classic like 5-6 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And I was looking at all these different teams. And that's when I really realized how much better MLB players are than the world. I was like, oh, Profar sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I faded him. And Profar busted the slate, bro. He had like 50 fantasy points. Homered twice. It was chaos. That's not to say I wouldn't have Profar for DFS. I just didn't want to bet that he hits a homer. That's what I was getting at. But yes, MLB players so much better. Like you see, I don't know, bottom of the barrel pitchers like Dan Straley go over there and be like, or Chris Flexen go over there and be aces and Kershaws, right? What up, Nick? Says Gun, big thanks for all your work from fellow Texan. What up, man? You've made MLB profitable for inside. Man, I appreciate that, Nick. That's good to hear. I have a lot of passion for baseball, and I know it's very confusing. I'm trying to bridge the gap between boring numbers and cool. And I don't know, but that's cool, man. Shout out to Texas. What about the rest of San Diego on PrizePicks? Yeah, if you just want to mix and match and stack the fantasy point, the game is. It might. I don't know. What's Coors? Coors has a. Coors got a lot of run total too, but this one it's probably the same as Coors. It's close to Coors, I'll say. There's a lot of implied runs to be had here, so if you just want to mix and match fantasy points, it correlates. Just remember, I think you can only have up to two players fantasy wise. First inning hits allowed, first inning runs allowed. Dude, we could take that too, right? If you like Cronenworth. All right, let's do some nominating here. Definitely think that feels a little soft too. Let's do Cubs, Padres, YRFI, or 1.5 hits. I'd probably just take the yes run first inning. It just feels like a good home run spot. But I do want to wait for the confirmed lineups before we lock that one in, right? There's a lot of random chicken joints down here. We literally have a place called Roscoe's Waffles and Chicken, or excuse me, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Pretty good. Pretty windy outside for a Coors game, man. This slate's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. All right, Rangers hosting the Astros. Jose Urquidy taking on Dane Dunning. Astros have an implied run total of 4.8. Rangers at 4.4. We did just get a Rangers lineup. We also got a couple lineups that I'll go back and fix here in a little bit. Semyon Seager, Adolis Garcia, Cole Calhoun, Sam Huff batting 5th, Nathaniel Lowe, Ezekiel Duran, Brad Miller, Leody Taveras. All right, cool. So that lineup is weird. Urquidy, 17% K rate this season, 1.16 whip, 6.3 expected ERA. None of that is anything I need to play on a 15-game slate. So you did your thing, dog, but that's going to be a no for me. He also has a 2.64 home run per 9 to righties, and that is really consistent the last 3 years, right? This is not like a single-season fluke job. So if I want to pick on that, I probably want to get a Adolis Garcia, and maybe we start believing in Marcus Semien, who's really turned it around lately. Semien has the highest bomb rating on the Rangers team at 4.1, so yeah, we'll get a couple of these Rangers righties, even the lefties, but more so the righties. We're trying to isolate some power, and if Semien and Adolis Garcia would be the two candidates here. Dane Dunning on the bump here for the Rangers. One of my favorite secrets about Dunning so far has been how good he has been at home. However, I just really, really don't like picking on the Astros. But if you have a bigger set of Jones than Old Gun, 7K for him, and a 2.83 xFIP at home with a 27% K rate. He does give up some bombs, $1.25 on the homer. I don't think I'm gonna task myself with picking on the Astros. They still have a 5-run total, but maybe keep that nugget in the back of your head going forward against a more average team. But yeah, he's been solid at the house. Astros stack, sure, we'll add Astros to the mix here. And then I'm probably not going to nominate either pitcher. And then we'll get a couple. I don't know if I want to onslaught Rangers, like what I mean, 5 stack them. But I do really like Semien and Adolis Garcia, so I might allow some 2 or 3 man stacks to be sub stacks because I'll never shoo away a Corey Seager. So yeah, maybe 1 through 3 is my favorite there. And then Semien. What did we get for Semien fantasy points? 7, 1.5 total bases. That's a maybe, man. Semien has certainly looked a lot more like last year's Semien in the last month, right? 4 homers. Feels like they were all in the last week. Yeah. That's a maybe. I might get some stake on Semien, but I'd rather probably just do it on DFS rather than prop betting here. Yeah. Howlin' Ray's chicken in LA is fire. Howlin' Ray's. Yeah, I haven't been west of Texas yet, but one of those things. I don't know. I feel like California is not renowned for their chicken, but hey, I'd take it. I guess no one's really renowned for chicken. You get like Southern barbecue, Northern pizza. I don't know. What am I missing, Chad? Cali tacos, I guess. The Carl's Jr.'s have alcohol. I remember hearing that. Boom. Hey, chat, since we have a lot more people now, I want to ask you guys, we did it yesterday, but if you guys want to do a little underdog draft for tonight's baseball slate later, just have some fun. I'm game for that. If you don't have an underdog account, there's a link in chat. They'll double your first deposit. And remember, you can also play on there for like prop betting and stuff like that. And then, of course, we're also brought to you by PrizePicks. So if you're not on PrizePicks, sign up using code GUNDECKER. Anytime you use my links or use my codes, make no mistakes. They break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, right? And they're like, and that helps support the streams, support the channels. But in the same way, it also doubles your first deposit. So we all kind of win here. Guardians and the Rockies, next game on the slate. If you guys do want to play towards the end of the stream, we'll try and fire up maybe a 6-man draft for tonight's slate, and we'll have some more fun with it. We did it yesterday; it was a little sloppy. Today we'll try and do it a little bit. We'll do it more, do it better, do it words. Guardians and the Rockies. Rockies lineup is confirmed. Charlie Blackmon batting leadoff in the year 2022. I'm in. Brandon Rogers batting third. CJ Megachrome batting fourth. Bro, it's like the Rockies. They don't care about new age stats, right? We don't care. CJ Chrome's batting cleanup when he should be batting third, right? He probably should be batting second, but you should at least get that man a guaranteed first inning at bat every game. He's your best. That's our confirmed lineup. So this is a coors game. The Guardians have a 6.4 implied run total. That is the best on the slate, and only Jose Ramirez is more than 5K, much less Really, he's the only guy over 4.7K. So we don't need to break any type of research off here. It's coors, it's the Guardians. They're implied for a lot of runs, and Antonio Senzatella's pitching for the Rockies. So it's a massive spot for the Guardians. I'm very curious to see how the Guardians ownership shakes out. I would imagine they lead the slate in ownership just based on their price, matchup, and run total. But at the same time, we have Wrigley Wind, we have Braves run total, Yankees run total, Blue Jays run total. So there's enough competition that I could see some pushback here. So I'm really eager to check in on those ownership projections, but I make it a habit to do the research first. Bieber's on the bump for the Guardians. His mama don't like me, and she like everyone. He's definitely not the same Bieber of old, but I think he's getting a little too much of a bad rap, because he's starting to find himself a little bit. 6Ks, 11Ks, 10Ks. So he's had double-digit strikeouts in 2 of his last 4 games. He's obviously not the same velocity fastball guy. He's not the same pitcher. But I do think he's going to be able to find it. With that said, at almost 10K in Coors Field, I'm probably not going to tempt fate here, and I'll probably sit this one out. But going forward, if we get a better spot, I don't mind looking his way, because he still has a 14% swing and strike rate. This is kind of like when Kershaw fell off, right? They're like, oh, he's not the same Kershaw. Well, he was still pretty good. The 3.5 expected ERA with a 1-4 K rate and a 14% swing and strike rate. I think he'll figure it out once he, accepts. They has to be a little different. But with that said, I don't think I need to go 10K in a course pitcher here. I'll have less Rocky stacks than Guardian stacks, but I will get to Rockies for obvious reasons. So let's put Rockies at the bottom here. We're going to have a pretty wide pool of onslaught stacks. So, yeah. LA's got everything. I know. They also really freaking expensive. What up, Jamie? How can the best fried chicken be anywhere besides the South? Cali not really known for their chicken. Also, Gun, we have a place in Texas called Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Okay, first of all, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is not really like the chicken spot down here, right? And we still got churches and KFC, all that stuff on corners, but like, we got some real chicken joints too, man. And I guess that's true for everywhere. I'm not our food's better than y'all's kind of guy, because I'm from New York. God dang it. But I just mean, like, when you hear, I don't know, I feel like when I was up north, I would always hear about Southern barbecue and stuff like that. I don't really hear about food delicacies from Cali that I gotta try. Maybe I'm wrong, but anything I hear about Cali is always just like some chain, like In-N-Out Burger or something like that. I don't really hear that. I don't know. I could be completely off base. Feel free to let me know I'm dumb. But also, like, recommend crap that we should get. I know Damron's from Arkansas, right? And he recently went to Cali. I think he went for some movie premiere. So maybe he could chime in here, right? A little southern. He's a full on hunter, man. How do you make it out in Cali? And what kind of food do you like out there? Maybe Chinese food. Yeah, maybe you got some good Oriental cuisine. Maybe. I could see that. Spinach or kale related? Oof. Oh, shots fired. I need to back out about Roscoe's. Oh, is Roscoe's a Cali chain? Dang lazy motherfucker. I don't know. I just remember driving by it and I laughed at the name. And then I was like, wait a minute. Chicken and waffles? I'm getting... Reds and the D-backs. Tyler Mahle taking on Zach Davies. Reds have an implied run total of 4.5. D-backs 4.7. We actually do have a D-backs confirmed lineup. Dalton Varsho in the leadoff spot. Josh Rojas, Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, David Peralta, Freight Train Coleman. Pavin Smith is batting 6th. Carson Kelly, Alec Thomas, Geraldo Perdomo. All right, this is kind of one of those run-of-the-mill games where we can't stack everything, so I'm probably just going to cherry pick here. Davies, if I want to pick on him, he gives up power to righties, a 1.6 or better home run per night to righties in the last couple years. So far this season, 1.2 home run per night overall at home. The K rate really, really low. The Reds, if I want to find a righty that could hit a homer off of Zach Davies, well, it's probably going to be Brandon Drury, and then maybe Tommy Pham, and then Davies also... has a 4.7 xFIP to lefties with a 12.8% walk rate. So if you're going to let Joey Votto put the ball in play. I like his chances as well. So cherry picking some names here. I probably don't onslaught. And then Tyler Mahle, a 136 overall whip this season with a 1-4 K rate on the road. Taking him out of Great American Ballpark at 25% K rate with a 0.74 home run per nine. The 9.5% walk rate, I would like that a little bit lower. The ground ball rate's a little low. Fly ball rate's really, really high. But I'd imagine Chase Field's going to keep the lid on in that desert. So maybe Mahle at 7,500. That dog just might hunt against a team with a 1-4 overall K rate. So maybe we get to a little bit of Mahle. Maybe. No high levels of confidence. But if we want to pick on Mahle, what do we want to do it with? How come he doesn't give up more homers with a 23% ground ball rate? Excuse me. A 0.92 homer per nine with a 30% ground ball rate this year against righties. Feel like that should be a lot higher. Last year was at 1.86. Yeah, we should probably expect more homers to righties coming sooner than later. With that said, only Christian Walker is the guy that I would look at for homers, and he's only one of two righties in the lineup. So, against lefties, ground ball rate goes up a little bit, line drive rate drops, and the hard contact plummets. He just got to throw strikes. If he throws strikes here, I think 7,500 for Mahle. I can get to a little bit of that in mass entries. So, we're going to have to start putting slash lines here. Mahle. And then these are like DK only. Tier 3 and below is usually almost always DK only plays for me. Taco sushi. Yeah, now that I think about it, it would imagine Cali's really good at seafood and, being closer to the. How do I put this? Probably has a higher Oriental demographic, right? There's some good sushi places out here in Cali. Also trying In-N-Out Burgers. So In-N-Out Burger came to Texas. All right. And on opening day, it had like a line around the block. And it was just like so overhyped. And I'm not saying it was bad food, but it was below average versus what we already had, right? Whataburger is king down here. So In-N-Out Burger, there's a lot of In-N-Out Burgers that popped up and they just got run out because we don't care. but I know you guys love your In-N-Out Burger, so I'm not knocking it, but I just think based on what we like down here, everyone just prefers Whataburger really to anything, especially to In-N-Out. It just felt like it was way overhyped. Oriental, that's outdated. Gotta say Asian. Oh, is it? I'm sorry. I think I remember somebody telling me that that's not a good term. My bad, Asian persuasion homies. I definitely did not know. Yeah, I really apologize. I didn't. In-N-Out Burger doesn't touch water. Yeah, Whataburger is so good, bro. All my homies that come through Texas, for whatever reason, they were like, "Yo, come, what do I eat?" I'm like, "You gotta go to Whataburger. You just have to, man. Grab a patty melt, something, get that spicy ketchup, bro. It just hits different. Royals and the Giants. Logan Webb taking on Chris Bubich. One of the cooler games on the slate temperature-wise from what I'm looking at. Bubich is a lefty, and he's not good. 203 whip this season, 8.3 expected ERA. Nothing here is anything we should touch with a 10-foot pole against the Giants. I do like a couple of these Giants against lefties. Austin Slater, Darren Ruff, Wilmer Flores would be the three guys that rise to the top for me. Neither lineup confirmed, but yeah, we'll get those guys in the mix. Logan Webb this season, a 3.45 expected ERA. His strikeout rate has dropped considerably versus last year, almost 6.5%. And most of that is coming from a downgrade in strikeout rate to righties. Didn't really ever strike out lefties at a high clip anyway, but with this matchup, at 9,100, if you thought 20 plus fantasy points happens more than it doesn't, or at least 30% of the time, it's probably worth a couple shares here. But nothing that I need to force the issue on. But I definitely want to get some Giants exposure to Bubich, just because Bubich is so bad. He's so bad. So we'll see what that Giants line that comes out. There's usually a lot of lot of variance in the Giants lineup day to day. They do have a couple platoon players, guys that you might be at risk for subbing out, right? Jock Peterson might check into the game for like a rough or whenever the lefty comes out. So understand you're taking some risk here, but I do like Slater, Ruff, and Flores inherently just based on the matchup. 12.5% walk rate to righties and a 21% walk rate to lefties. 22 innings. Obviously, that's probably going to go down a little bit, but even going back to last year in 130 inning sample size, it was 12% aggregate. Do we have a Bubic walk prop? 2 walks allowed. That's interesting. It is. What are we thinking here? Maybe we'll go look at walk rates in the league. Texas Whataburger specifically, yeah, it is true. PC term is AAPI. I'm gonna. Somebody needs to remind me. I need to do some research. I definitely don't want to be offending cats over here. I don't know what's right or wrong. But I don't need to be told but once not to say something. What am I looking for? Oh, I came here looking for walk rate. Whataburger over Shake Shack? I don't know if I've had Shake Shack. I've had Steak and Shake. And then I don't know if I've had Steak Shack. I'm gonna assume yet. I'll say this, if for just taking out all the mom and pop shop barbecue joints, anything like that, just straight up fast food burger. I've been around the country. I've been all the way to the border of Canada. I haven't been west of Texas, but I've been up and I've been all the way right. I don't think any place has touched the burger quality of Whataburger, just as a fast food, on the go burger. But obviously, I'm sure like that's not like against steakhouses or anything like that. You know what I mean? We're the Giants. So Giants are third in the league in walk rate. So maybe Bubic's 2 walks is something we can get behind. I feel like it pushes more than anything, but maybe something to get behind. 5-man Giant stack. Yeah. Or unless you're asking about 5 guys, burgers and fries. Asian American Pacific Islanders. There's got to be an easier way to say that. AAPI. All right, Asian American Pacific Islanders. All right. Can I just say Asians? Do we have a representative of the Asian persuasion? Dang, I feel bad. If you're asking about 5-man Giant stacks, I probably reserve that more for the turbo slate here. But yeah, I guess if we can get it under a couple percent, I don't mind it. Shake Shack, now global, but started in New. Is there a Shake Shack? I'm gonna just put Texas. I don't think I've ever heard it. I guess we have them down here. Shake Shack. I don't have them in. Remember, guys, I'm in like Waco, it's a big city, but it's not Dallas or Houston. You know what I mean? So it looks like Shake Shack is like a Dallas thing. Is there any in Houston? Oh, I'm in Mexico. What am I doing? Austin, Houston, San Antonio. So it missed the I-35 stop at Waco. Maybe next time I'm in a spot, I might give it a shot. From what I heard the other day, oh dude, yo, my boy Loco, the news god over there, bro. I'm always be scared to say his name. All right, yeah, some Giants, and then maybe a little Logan Webb. Angels at the Dodgers. Tony Gonsolin taking on Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard just a 15% K rate this year, 4.57 expected ERA. Not going to take my chances there against the Dodgers on this size slate. Gonsolin has been kind of serviceable. I feel like maybe he's been doing the most with 90 pitches. It keeps getting into the 7th inning, it feels like, or 6th inning. 80 to 90 pitches. So he's really, really doggone efficient. So I don't hate the thought of him. I do think this is, maybe we're getting a lowered ceiling for this price point, right? You'd want to at least a shot at 30 fantasy points. But if you're just looking for a little floor and maybe a late slate play, I think Gonsolin makes sense. With that said, Angel's starting to look a little bit more healthy. Trout's back. Rendon's back. Taylor Ward might be back. And then no Joe Madden. So maybe this is one of the stronger versions of the Angels lineup you could possibly see. So there is strikeout potential in the lineup, but there's also a lot of power. Ward, Ohtani, Trout, Jared Walsh, Stassi, all a 200-plus ISO since the beginning of last year, and then all 800-plus OPS. So not a great spot, and maybe not a ceiling spot. More of a floor play here. So I wouldn't talk anyone off of Gonsolin, but there's enough pushback for me on the main slate that I don't need to make it a priority. But on the late slate, I don't mind getting there. But like I said, I do think he's being a little bit. He's being extra efficient with not 100 pitches, if that makes sense. And then, we're stacking Dodgers. And we'll probably stack this version of the Angels lineup anytime. Just I don't have a ton of interest in, or I just don't see them dropping 20 a lot. You know what I mean? Nah, Mamba, don't. What? No, there's definitely. That's not the vibes, Mamba. I appreciate that. I do. But I'm gonna remove that statement. You're cool, Mamba. Just we don't. They got a lot of really, really sharp cats, man. And I love chopping it up with my boy. So I like Terry, right? I do shows with Terry. That dude is sharp as a tack, man. If you guys aren't paying attention, add him for NBA. I don't know what you mean by that, but I just don't agree with it. But you good, man. Just keep the vibes right, bro. We ain't here to hate on nothing. Main event tonight, Twins and the Mariners. Before we jump into the main event, two things. First of all, if you guys want to add this spreadsheet to your research process, it is behind the paywall at rundfs.com. On top of that, if you get a VIP membership, every level comes with a credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, and you can apply that to your optimizer dues. And then when you click VIP portal, you'll get a link to the spreadsheet. You also get a link to the official Discord, which looks like this. And then usually for a couple hours before lock, unless I'm like on a stream or something, I'll be in the voice chat chopping it up, making some lineups. We're just chilling. So if you guys ever wanted to be part of that, it is all there. And then the Discord comes with, D. Gordon got DFA'd. He just had a baby. Oh, poor guy. I'm sure he'll get picked up though. You get into this premium Discord, and then we have the free Discord. Link to that's in the description below. It's completely free to get in the Gundacker Gaming one. And then maybe you don't want to shell out $20 a week or whatever for Run DFS, but you still want to support. You can get that $5 channel membership, and then one of the things we like to do is whenever myself or Josh play that slate, like we're not going to force the content, but if we play it, we share our what we're tailing. So yesterday I shared my props for baseball, right? So we got the triangle, we got Springer, we got Buxton, we got Winker, we got Springer, we got Goldie. I literally got all but one yesterday, and unfortunately that was the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals, Tommy Edman. But yeah, we'll share that. And then I know tonight is a WNBA slate for Josh, and then so we'll have that over there. So a lot of ways to get a little something in return for showing a little bit of love, a little bit of support. You know what I mean? I live in the hometown of Whataburger. It has actually gone to crap since they sold it to a Chicago company. We had that fear down here when that transaction happened, but I don't really feel like I've seen. I don't feel like I've tasted or seen any of the regression. But if you go to Whataburger, Skimmer, if you guys have never been to Whataburger, my recommendation would be a patty melt, fries with spicy ketchup. Right? Josh streams more than I do. Hey, man, I'm back in the grind, first of all. But secondly, Josh is addicted to this crap, man. Josh be hitting me up. Josh almost tried to throw pebbles at my window for a Celtics Warriors stream yesterday. I was like, Josh, man, you gotta pace yourself, bro. Like, you don't understand. This is what 6-7 years of me now. Like, this is the dog days, but it's also the recharge. When football comes back in a couple months and basketball, like, we hit the ground running. So you gotta you gotta enjoy the rest while you can. But Josh is he's a robot, bro. He's not normal. He loves this crap. No, I'm late. Originally from the East Coast, and Whataburger's approved. Facts. See, Sheriff, you get what I'm saying, right? It's not a like I have no dog in the hunt to be like, oh, our stuff is better than everybody else's. No, it's Whataburger's good. It's good. I will say, if I go to Whataburger, I'm usually have to expect to be in like the drive-through for like 30 minutes because there's always a line, but it's good. All right, main event tonight: Joe Ryan taking on Logan Gilbert. Hey, chat. After this, if you guys want, we'll do a underdog draft game. First of all, let me know if there's any interest. Do I have 6 of you guys that want to play an MLB draft? If so, like, I don't know, type 1. We can get in like a $3 6-man, or smaller if there's not, and then we'll have some fun with that. And then we'll talk about it. But if you guys want to, then I'll play along. We'll do it on stream. I feel like there might be 100 of you guys. Yeah. Josh is the Terminator. Oh, there's Josh. Josh always lurking. Joe Ryan versus Logan Gilbert. So Ryan hasn't pitched in a minute, and I don't know if I think I read earlier today he only threw like 40 or 50 pitches lately. He's coming off the Rona. Hasn't pitched in the major league level since the 21st, so almost a month. But I feel like I read he only threw 40 pitches. I don't know where I read that at. Tuesday, the rookie hander scoreless inning rehab start. He hasn't pitched. He threw 40 pitches in his rehab outing, so he might be limited tonight. So I think at 9K we got to really, really put value and stock on that. So you're dealing with the coming back from the Rona, 40 pitches. So maybe you might be at 50, 60 pitches here, and on a 30 game slate, a 30 team slate. Is that really an optimal amount of pitches at almost 9K to get behind? Probably not. So I probably am going to sit this one out on Joe Ryan. And then Logan Gilbert on the bump here for the Mariners. 24% K rate, 2.41 ERA. The ERA is shining a little bit brighter than his expected ERA, and Sierra say it should. Gilbert at 9,200, look for 20-plus fantasy points. Definitely can do it, but this is a scary Twins team. 116 WRC plus against righties. Byron Buxton's just an animal. And Gilbert, a 26% line drive rate to righty so far, with just a 35% ground ball rate. So high hard contact rate, high fly ball line drive rate combined. I don't think that 0.9 home run per night is going to sustain with those three numbers. So we might see that get a little bit more like last year's 1.7. So with that said, Byron Buxton, a 4.42 rating in the bomb detector. I feel like that might be the highest on the slate. Let's go look at the bomb detector real quick. And it is the second most. It's behind a fakeness. Nick Plummer's at the top with 14 at-bats. We'll probably disqualify that from being listed later. But Byron Buxton has the highest bomb detector rating on the slate when it comes to sample. And so I'm probably not that enthralled with Logan Gilbert here. Yeah. And that's all I got to say about that. One. All right, cool. Wasn't able to join now because of work. Can you flash the bomb tracker before the end? Yeah, I got you, Zach. Matter of fact, let me zoom in on it. And then also, if you're on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundecker, I try to tweet it out. And then I also put it in the Discord sometimes. So here we go. I'll leave it like that. Some of you guys that are just looking for the answers to the tests, you can screenshot it. Boom. And then you're good. Listening while I update WNBA sheets, man. Yeah, that's what's up. Emerson says, y'all think that Cole Taco will hit the over? He pitched 6 innings with 10 Ks last game versus New York. Is he slumping? 6 innings. Is Garrett Cole slumping? No, I think Cole just got smacked by the Twins. It happens. Twins are good. But past that, I think 5.5 Ks is we're probably gonna see the over on that. I'm taking the over if that means anything. But I am a biased Yankees fan, right? Thanks for continuing to give good content, solid info. It's my birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Mamba. Manny for the win tonight. Manny Machado, you might. A lot of wind. In and out over everything. Come on, boys. All right, so there's your bond detector. I'll tell you what, I'll start adding some confirmed lineups in here. But if you guys want to play with me on Underdog, I know I posted the link a few times. Remember, they'll double that first deposit. I'll sit in one of these. Hopefully, I'll actually make the draft today. Do we have 6 people? I see Skimmer typed 1. All right, so let's get in this one. We might have 6 people. So let's get into this one. I'll reserve mine. I think there's one person sitting in it already. So it's the only $3 one up there. So there's 4 spots. 4 you guys can jump in here, and then maybe we'll go back and tighten up some lineups here. So let's see what dropped since we talked. I think a lot of lineups came out. So we'll scroll to the tippy top here and just flashback between the two teams. So no Nats lineup yet. We did have a Braves lineup come out. It's Acuna, Dansby, Riley, Olsen, Travis d'Arnaud. It's batting 5th. I like that. 6 spots, Marcell Ozuna. So hopefully they fix the home run triangle on PrizePicks, because they did have, I believe they had William Contreras in it, and he's not in the lineup. So yeah, guys, my heart keeps skipping a beat, and it like feels so weird. It's normal, don't freak out, but like it's doing it a lot right now. So if you see me punching my chest, I'm just like, I don't know, it probably doesn't do anything. Chisholm, Garrett Cooper, Jorge Soler, Jesus Aguilar, Jesus Sanchez, Avisel Garcia, John Berti, Miguel Rojas, Jacob Stalling. So that is our confirmed Marlins lineup. Looks like they added a couple more strikeouts to the lineup here. So maybe a stronger case for Eflin. Chisholm's still a problem at the top. But other than that, we're good. Still waiting on 4 players. By the way, I think this is the link here. So if you guys want to play that, we'll put the link to the specific contest in chat. And then if you don't want to play, you're getting out of here. That's cool too. Just hit that thumbs up for me. Maybe double check, see if you're subscribed to the channel. And I'll probably be live again tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we got more WNBA streams on the horizon. And I'll try to do daily baseball as long as it's not like a wonky early thing, right? Tomorrow looks like it. Yeah, tomorrow we got a decent main slate. So we'll do it again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. What else we got here? White Sox lineup came out. Remember, they're going to go righty, opener, and then lefty reliever. So we got the lefty reliever in the spreadsheet. Pollock, Vaughn, Robert, Abreu, Moncada, Lurie Garcia, batting 6th. Adam Engel, Reese McGuire. But I don't know what this song is, but I can't tell if I'm vibing with it or not. Let's skip it. Shep to the tube. I appreciate that sub, my dude. Welcome to the channel. Brewers lineup didn't come out yet. We just have the Mets. Cardinals lineup, not. Rangers lineup. Good. I think that's it. D-backs lineup we got. I think we're good. Bro, what are these songs? What the freak? Alright, let's go back up. Alright, cool. Alright, and if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. Also, hey, while we're loading this up, I do want to point out that the scoring on Underdog, you should definitely pay attention to the pitchers' scores, because it's not as top, or it's not as juiced as everything else in the world for pitchers. So we go to hit that info tab. Oh, I can create a private draft. All right, I'm gonna start doing that, because then we can actually fill that at the beginning of the stream sometime. But look at the scoring for pitchers. You only get 1 point for a strikeout. You lose 1 for an Ernie. You get 0.33 for an out, right? And then 3 for a quality start. So, other sites it's like 3 points for a strikeout, whatever. So pitchers are not as valuable, and I think that's fair in a draft form where everybody, if I get Garrett Cole, I got a massive leap on the field. But just keep in mind, so don't feel obligated to grab a pitcher right off the rip. I still think it's still, one of the more higher predictive values out there for stuff that's on the slate, but it's not as strong as other sites where it's super top heavy. So keep that in mind if you're sitting in these drafts, and then you need 1 pitcher, 2 infielders, 2 outfielders, and then 1 flex. And yeah, so we need 3 more. 3 more of you guys jump in there. And then while we wait for that, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about the slate, DFS, or props, drop them in chat. And then if you're on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker, I'll try and tweet out the bomb detector later. I did it yesterday as well. And yeah. All right. And what did I write in the prop list? So this is what we had for a couple props earlier. I had Acuna 8.5 fantasy. That lineup came out confirmed, so I can still get behind that. Hoskins 1.5 total bases against a lefty. We like that. Springer 8 fantasy points for 1.5 total bases. The Blue Jays home run triangle makes sense. Love Jake Cronenworth against Davies. Wind blowing out 6.5 fantasy points. And then I'll take a yes on a first inning run in that game. And then remember, over on underdog, how many? I need 3 more Cowboys. Over on underdog, they also have a prop game as well, where we can kind of translate like that. So I would probably take Acuna over here. You guys want to make a card over here? We'll do Acuna. We'll do Springer over. We'll do they have Cronenworth anything? 1.5 total bases. Those 3, and Hoskins. Let's get behind these 4 guys. You guys want to sweat this with me? I don't know. I'll do $10 to make it $100. Acuna, Springer, Cronenworth, Hoskins. 4-pick, $10 to $100. We'll put that in. Confirm. So if you guys want some of that, there's that. And that's in line with the notes and all the research we just did. Thoughts on Jeff Hardy? I just want the best for him, man. I hate to see that. I will say I'm built a little different. You know, there's a mob mentality that are angry at him, and rightfully so. You know, anyone that gets behind a car or gets in a car driving drunk, you're putting everyone at risk. But people have demons, man, and it's a fight that never stops. So I really just hope for the best for him. Positive vibes, prayers, all that good stuff. Yeah, just don't buy into the negativity, man. Just want good for people, and you'll be all right. Need a Swanton bomb detector. Morel, Springer, or Schwarber. Out of those 3, limited Monday, I'd probably go Springer number 1. Then kind of a toss-up. I don't mind Schwarber, but he is in a tougher matchup, lefty-lefty. Trevor Rogers, as bad as he's been against righties, and he has dipped pretty significantly in strikeout rates to righties, he's still striking out lefties at a 30% clip, and Schwarber strikes out 30%. So I would have Springer as my clear number 1 between those 3. But it's a toss-up between Schwarber and Morel. I might lean Morel in that one and then Schwarber. Inner demons, man. Demons are crazy, man. They are crazy. We might not be able to fill this one. It's all right if we don't. I think what I should do going forward is make a private draft, and then we'll spend all stream filling it, and then go from there. Inner demons, man. Hey, by the way, free Discord link in the description below. Josh has WNBA coverage today, and then I'll post the Titan prop stuff that I'm targeting tonight, and then be sure to check out the exclusive offers at the top. Obviously, you guys know about PrizePicks and Underdog. We also have a partnership with SeatGeek, so if you're going to see a baseball game or you want to go to a concert, something like that, check out the SeatGeek app. Really good marketplace to buy and sell tickets, especially buy tickets. And then if you want to buy some tickets, I'll save you $20 if you punch my name in the code thing. So yeah, it's a pretty cool deal we got going on with them. And then I'm always looking and building and developing new partnerships. That any partnership I have comes with a benefit to you guys. But free Discord. This Discord is completely free to click in and get into. All you got to do is keep the vibes right and root for each other, man. I love that about the prop world here, is that it's just a lot of co-sweating, right? It used to be we're battling each other in the DFS streets here, but seeing a lot of you guys team up on these props is really, really good. So I love to see that. If we can't fill this, that's fine. Waiting for 2. We'll hold out for 2. Ad blocker keeps blocking the link. Oh, for what? What's the contest? Oh, it's the $3. So when you open up the draft on Underdog, you click MLB and you're in the draft column, At the $3 draft, 6 person. And it looks like we need one more. And then we'll get her going. And I will try and make picks based on the research that we just did. And just a reminder that pitchers aren't as high of a priority. Think you're in? So it doesn't show me who's in until it fills, I think. But yeah, we just need one more. And then we good. There we go. We filled. All right, let's get her going. See, and just my opinion here, but looking at these fantasy projections, they have Joe Ryan as the same projection as Dylan Cease, and Joe Ryan just threw 40 pitches. So if you get bots like I did yesterday that are auto drafting, that's going to kill people. Joe Ryan's absolutely going to kill people with what he's likely to do. So a little bit of an edge to be had here. No underdog in Louisiana. Oh man, that sucks, dude. All right, so this draft starting in 60 seconds. Let's get it. Let me see who's in here. Chat, point yourself out. Anybody? Gruntman, Purple Rain, Yogi Bear, Cowboy. I know Cowboys. So I know who to talk trash to. And then I'll need to remember to post that card, that pick card we did for underdog. All right, Cowboys Nation is on the clock. Let's get. There we go. Let's jam out a little bit. By the way, chat. Tomorrow there will be a WNBA stream. It may be in the afternoon, but it also may be in the earlier afternoon. And then we'll do the baseball stream again. So definitely more content tomorrow if you're new to the channel. We've been exploring these WNBA streets and they are crushing it. So go check that out. Yogi Bear is Skimmer. All right, Skimmer on the clock. Our boy Cowboys Nation takes Jose Ramirez. Coors Field 1.1. Yogi on the clock. I think he might have just auto-drafted Garrett Cole. Could be worse, but I'm telling you guys, make sure that you have something queued up because you do not want Joe Ryan to be auto-drafted in your lineup right now. You will get, you will not like that. So now I'm on the clock, and I'm going to go at the top of the bomb detector, and I see, I either want, I think I'm going to go with George Springer here. But I'm very tempted to go someone else. But I'm going to go George Springer here. Carpenter looked like a home run favorite today against Tampa. Man, Kluber's home run problem has been more so against righties. But I will say, Carpenter probably doesn't get subbed out because Josh Donaldson's serving his suspension. So even when a righty comes in, I think Carpenter's got a shot. But Carpenter's definitely like in Yankee Stadium. Even though he's got a couple homers, I think in Tampa. Dylan Cease off the board. That's a good pickup. Judgy off the board. Poker Man with the back-to-back. This is a huge, huge turn here. I think their pitcher projections are pretty busted. I think that's a good way to be different. Vladdy Jr. off the board. Nice little back-to-back, Judgy and Vladdy. All right, the field left me Buxton. I got to do it. Buxton top of the bomb detector against Mr. Gilbert. Oh, no, he was already... Oh, they didn't leave me Buxton. I'm an idiot. Oh, now I'm struggling. Now I'm struggling. I'm going to auto draft. Oh, it's going to give me Joe Ryan. No! Oh! Freed. Dude. I did all that, and I got Joe Ryan, right? So that's all right. I pay the rake here. We're good. I should have had it queued up. I'm scared to queue stuff up, and you guys can snipe me. Imagine taking Joe Ryan over Mike Trout. It's all right. I'm giving you guys a handicap. I'm going to overcome it. Don't worry. all y'all. Here, what up, Josh? All right, now we're much better. I should have had all this queued up, but I'm scared. I'm scared of you guys cheating. But it's just ironic that I warned you guys about Joe Ryan's thing. And sure enough, I'm the dope that gets him, right? Hey, it's all good though. We're gonna make it back with that 4-pick card that we threw in there. Corey Kluber off the board here for Cowboys Nation. Jose Altuve went back to back. Kluber and Altuve. All right. Nice little swing. Not too shabby. Definitely think there's some edge in these auto draft projections because even, I don't feel like I'm an idiot, but I just spazzed out when I found out that one of my picks was gone and I just completely froze. I also wish there was an audio cue for when I am on the clock, and that hasn't been the case. But maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we didn't mind Semien as well. Jake the Snake Cronenworth. I like him for a bomb. Soto's always I'm not gonna accidentally draft another bum. It's just not gonna happen. All right, on the clock. So I think I'm gonna take a shot on Hoskins here. We are pros now. Austin Riley, Alvarez, Hoskins. Now Poker Man with the back-to-back, and then it's me again. Gruntman. Okay, Paul and Boats. Gruntman, let's go. So it is kind of like a stream thing. All right, cool. Now that I know how to make a private game, I'll probably just try and make a private game, and then we'll fill it throughout the stream instead of me like trying to spring it on y'all. You know what I mean? It's only if y'all are having fun. If it's not fun, if you feel like you're not having fun, don't do it. But just something cool. Maybe we should like alternate. Like one night do a DraftKings. You know what I mean? When I do a Fanduel and then a draft here. Have done any best ball NFL lineups? Not yet. That's my biggest weakness right now. I've been trying to find some best ball content creators to share some stuff on this channel, but it's hard to find some good quality stuff. Man, I'm stuck between Charlie Blackmon leading off in coors or Jake Cronenworth, the likely bet in second for a free homer against Zach Davies. I'm doing it. We're going Jake the Snake. How many positions of each? I believe it's one pitcher, 2 infielder, 2 outfielders, and a util. I believe that's it. So it's kind of cool, right? For NBA and baseball, like it's fun to do these drafts. But for NBA, with so much news, it's hard to do these drafts at like a time like this. At least in baseball, it's a little bit more forgiving. But like we all love drafting football teams, right? It's like we all draft and then we stop paying attention halfway through the season. That's kind of the daily thrill of drafting. So I kind of like the idea of it. I think baseball is the only sport where we can get away with that on a daily. Has some content. No, I meant like as far as like this channel having content. There's a ton of great content for best ball. Osma has a lot of really, really good stuff as well. But I've been trying to branch out and kind of push a lot of smaller content creators to like no ulterior motives. I just want to see people be great. And I haven't really found like an independent best ball NFL content creator that looks like you know what I mean. But maybe I'm still looking. If you guys know of some or any of you guys have that little dream, let me know. But yeah, I've been trying to find something for this channel as far as content for that, especially to, you know, continue my partnership with Underdog. I keep an eye on a lot, but I just don't have time to track everything. Like some of these cats that grind every practice, every voluntary practice report, rumors and trades, and man, dude, I'm swarmed with everything else. So those guys are awesome. Man, Mike Trout went so far back. That's crazy. All right, we on the clock again. I do get a push notification on my phone that says I'm on the clock. I think we're going to go Charlie Hustle, leading off in Coors. But he's against a lefty. Yeah, let's do it. You don't have to set lineups in best ball. You just draft your team and you don't got to make changes. Yeah, that's the whole point of best ball, right? Is you get the thrill of the draft, and you don't have to hustle the waivers every week. And then, you know, they just take the best scores week to week, right? It's definitely taking everything that is frustrating about season long and kind of making it better. But some of it, like, I like grinding waivers and trades as well. So, like, there's still a little romanticism to be had. What do I need? What is my team right now? I have Hoskins, Cronenworth, and Springer, Blackmon. And then what do I want between the two that are left? Who's at the top of the bomb detector? It's still on the board here. JD Martinez against the lefties, intriguing. I don't know. I feel like I want a random Yankee. Random Yankee. If I type Yankees, will anything come up? So orange means they've already been drafted, right? All right, cool. So Rizzo, Rakes. Let's do it. Rizzo against Kluber. Just so I have something to sweat there. That's my squad. Rizzo, Jake, Hoskins, Springer, Blackmon, and then Joe Ryan on 40 pitches, just to handicap myself. Good draft, boys. People say they're not drafting a running back on their team. Do they literally mean that, or do they say take it real late? I'm pretty sure the 0 RB means that they don't take it till late. I feel like you still have position requirements where you got to have X amount at X position, but investing the highest draft capital in, you know, the most injury. I don't want to say the most. It feels like running back's the most injury prone split spot, and a lot of times overrated, where you can kind of waiver wire the backup running backs who will get play and PPR, stuff like that. So that's my assumption, is that they mean later in the draft, and they spend that high draft capital on wide receivers. All right, good draft, boys. Good luck to everyone that doesn't have Joe Ryan and his 55 pitches tonight in their lineup. You're gonna need it. That's today's stream. Twitter.com/Gundecker. I'm gonna go hang out in the Discord. I think is Osmo doing a deeper dive right now? Yesterday I thought they were, but they weren't. I think they might be doing a deeper dive right now. Yes, they are. So go check out the Osmo channel. They just went live. And then if you want to hang out with me in Discord, I'll be in Discord the next couple hours in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. And then we're good, right? Let's ride. Good luck, boys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, making part of my day, be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them, because I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. Peace.